Do you know what the definition of sanity is? The FGC being as toxic as ever, but people defending it because it's pro players. Okay, so joke intro aside, as soon as I saw this shit, I had to make a small rant about it. Now, I was gonna do it the day it dropped, but, you know, I couldn't do it because I had stuff that day, plus Father's Day was the next day, so I couldn't really make the video, but I am going to now. I just had to make this small rant because it just proves my point over and over and over again on the FGC being one of the worst fucking communities ever. Now, for context, this fucking guy basically decided to show off his own ego by dressing up as Dr. Doom and calling himself Joe Budden, which is already some egomaniac shit, but that's just the surface. But then this fucking egomaniac decides to not only throw toilet paper at fucking commentators for no real reason, but then decides to go backstage, which he was told multiple times not to do, thus resulting in his disqualification from a Tekken 8 tournament. And what were people's response to this, or at least a majority of the responses? People are just pussies, bro. This guy didn't deserve to get banned. Fuck you mean he didn't deserve to get banned? He was a fucking egomaniac moron. Of course he deserved it. Like, if someone tells me, hey, don't go backstage, why would I then decide to go back fucking stage? That makes no sense. And again, the FGC, like the insane people they are defending this to a T. And look, I don't mean to be that guy who's like, I was right, but I was right. The FGC continues to be one of the worst communities ever, and a very big problem I kind of wish I talked about in my video, and it's also the same thing with the Smash community. What was that? Fuck. Smash community. Okay, jokes aside, but a very big problem I kind of wish I talked about in my video was the fact that they will defend anything a pro player does just because they are a pro, even if the thing in question is just pure ego, being a dick, or worse. Case in point, this fucking guy, because again, he's an egomaniac moron who pretty much got banned, rightfully so, for doing shit he wasn't supposed to be doing. Had this entire situation be different and the guy in the right, like, you know, he tweeted something 10 years ago and they didn't like it, so they banned him, I would be on his side. But he's an idiot and he did an idiotic thing and got rightfully banned. And then you have people defending this guy's actions just because he's a pro player and not because he got wrongfully banned. No, he got rightfully banned. It's just that he's a pro and people obviously want to glaze the pros. The whole glazing of pro players and streamers and all that shit and thinking they could do no wrong kind of reminds me of this Grade A Under It clip. It's not as extreme, obviously, but you get what I mean.
To an extent, right, that's one of the problems of YouTube fandom in a sense, right? Once someone has a big following, for some fucking reason, it's so hard for people to start seeing them in a bad light. Once you're popular on YouTube, it's pretty much as if you have to sexually abuse someone, like Sandpepper and Nerimon did, until people finally start seeing you for the cunt you are. Not everyone who has a big following on YouTube is fucking innocent and amazing and an angel. Some of them are absolutely cunts.
The same goes for pro players, but people still decide to treat them as such. Like, for every Maximilian and every fucking Daigo you meet, you'll always see those types of people like the cough Joe Budden egomaniac. There's a lot more people like that than Maximilian in the FGC, and it's pretty much why I despise the community. And if this was a regular video, I would talk about ways that the community could improve, but honestly, why would I ever want a community to improve when they don't even make an effort to do that? Like, most sane communities would try and be like, oh, well, we're not all like that, and like, they would try and demonize or just like kind of not really try to associate themselves with the negative parts. But, you know, the fighting game community, the FGC, they're like, nah, fuck it, we don't care, he's one of us. They don't make the effort to put out the bad apples, they don't make an effort to put out the fires, so why should I even help them? There is no saving the FGC, because how can you save a community that doesn't even make an effort to get rid of toxic people like this? Like, again, I don't care if bro is good at Tekken, he threw toilet paper at a commentator and tried to go in an area he couldn't even go in. Like, of course he got banned, he's insane and is probably compensating for something, but hey, he's good at Tekken, right, bro? All I'm gonna say about the fighting game community, or the FGC, is that they are a toxic and awful community, and if you're considering joining them, don't. But don't do it. Don't end up like being like a fucking egomaniac and actually be a human being, bro.